Hello, beautiful people. My name is Marika Gare, and this is the Inspiration Trilogy. So, a platform for women across the globe to share wisdom, advice, stories, and really just have some meaningful conversations on general life, I guess. So, today's guest is Jelena Ilic. I hope I said that right. Mother of two, a certified nutritionalist, and you've also just founded your business, Life Food Balance. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Marika, for this beautiful introduction. And thank you for having me. This is actually my first ever podcast. And I'm really grateful to be here and doing this for the first time in life. So it's
beautiful.
very interesting journey that we're all, I'm going to take. So yes, I'm a certified nutritionist. I'm a mom of two. So really busy life. Been in corporate environments and started my own online business where my passion is pretty much to teach moms, but women in general, how to better self-care through nutrition by making small daily habit changes towards a really beautiful health.
Yeah.
And the reason why I've done it, and I will tell you a bit story behind how it really all came about, is because when I was growing up, I saw my mom being in that corporate environment. She was the director of one of the biggest import-export companies back in former Yugoslavia. She was like a big boss. I call her a big boss, like 9 to 6, 9 to 7, always rushing, always running, living on coffees, on cigarettes, on, not having that lifestyle during the day. And then coming home, immersing herself with us, giving us everything that my brother and myself needed, cooking, cleaning, doing everything that you can imagine that mom does. And then ending up, not going to bed before midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning by the time she finished all that. And then another day, get up at 6 or 7 and do everything all at once. And then when I was 19 years old, I was having a bit of a chat with her, and all of a sudden I just started seeing her going completely pale. She started vomiting, she started crying that she's not feeling well. And on that day, on that lab, she had a massive heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
At year of 48. And pretty much
48. Wow, that's so young.
At age of 48, she had a massive heart attack when from all of her heart, only 20% left working. That day and that moment in my life changed everything subconsciously for me. Even though, I wasn't really thinking, I was still young. I started follow the same paths as she did. Move across the country by myself. I can do it. I'm strong. I'm powerful. I'm this, I'm that. All of that. Went by myself to the new country, started my family, same routines. Climbing up the ladder, not really thinking about what I'm eating, still cooking and, trying to, but not really mentally thinking about myself. And then when I was 34 around, started having pretty much some similar symptoms that she was having. And that struck me, that woke me up, because I told myself I don't want the same destiny. But what really woke me the most, so to say, crucial thing is when unfortunately she passed away in March this year, all of a sudden,
I'm so
without
sorry.
It was a huge lesson. It was a huge lesson for me. And since that moment on, I decided to, immerse myself in this and teach really women that you don't really have to change your entire life in order to be healthy. But if you don't start with small things, like having water, like having a bit of an exercise, like having those kind of small things in your routine, which a lot of moms don't pay attention to. I don't really want you to end up like my mom. I don't want anybody to end up like my mom. And she's my blessing and my guardian angel now. So that's how it all came about.
Wow, that must have been so challenging for you at a young age to watch your mother go through that. But I really love that you've taken some positives from it and being able to make changes in your life and to now be able to do that with other women. Because I know, as like you say, I was sort of similar. I was fiercely independent when I was younger, and I wanted to do everything on my own. I can do this, I can do that, and it's a great asset to have, but it's kind of like a double-edged sword because you don't really end up finding time for yourself because you're giving so much. And as women, we're nurturers, right? And as mothers, and you're giving, and we know we should have water, we know we should eat well, we know all these things, but we don't always consciously make that decision to do it, or we just forget. We're just so busy on that, getting everything done. But I think, as you said, if we can make small lifestyle changes or habit changes, like drinking extra water, which is something I'm doing at the moment. I've got a bit of a competition going with one of my friends because, but if you have someone else to do it with, like even just drinking water, but we see who can drink the most water in one day kind of thing without obviously going overboard.
Yeah.
But it just helps to sort of motivate you and remind you, and it just, and honestly, the difference just having a great amount of water to your skin, to your sleeping, to your energy levels. I mean, it's incredible. And that's not even going onto the, food part of things. So, look, I mean, in regards to nutrition, I mean, obviously everyone has their own individual circumstances or health issues, DNA and all that kind of stuff. But on a general level, for most of the listeners out here with this podcast are sort of middle-aged or heading towards that way. I mean, what is a general piece of, I guess, advice you can offer to make those small changes in their nutrition to really get things started?
Well, first I want to acknowledge you for the challenge, because it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And in a way, we as humans function through challenges. You will have challenges. It's like something to conquer, like a mission, a vision that we have. And then every time when I talk to my friends or moms or clients or whoever I'm talking to, it's our brains are designed to have a challenge, to have a purpose, to have something that we are looking for. But if that vision or purpose, it's too big and we don't see an end goal to it, we won't be able to adjust it. So, for example, that's why the diets, they don't work. The yo-yo effects in everything, because there's so much massive changes that you need to dump on yourself to do it all at once, that your brain just can't process it.
It's just not doable. It's not like long term. And we all, you end up
not from mom.
Yeah, you end up sort of dieting so much that when you get to the moment where you do sort of have a bit of you think you just got to have a little sneak of something, you just go overboard, and it just everything. It's not a good way to do it.
It's not. And I've learned that through my personal experience, because when everything happened to my mom, and then unfortunately my dad passed away from cancer, I went into complete opposite. I chucked everything out of my life because of a fear that something will happen to me, that something will happen to my family, that I need to be this perfect example of perfect everything. I'm that kind of, I'm really high on expectations for myself, for my family, for my kids. But then I went to the rabbit hole because I started missing so many things that I had in my life, that it was just over. It was too much. And that's when it clicked, the life food balance, that there needs to be a balance in the life of habits, and what do you want to change, and what's your perfect thing to do. So, for example, what I always say is, my top 3 things, they're most easiest and most doable things that you can do for yourself, is having that morning routine. And I'm really big on morning routines, because how you start your day is how your day is going to unfold. So let me give you an example. We as moms, and generally women, are really all about to-do lists. Like, it's just us. No matter what we do, it's to do. It's to do. But the thing is that when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol level is the highest. The stress level is the highest. And then when you, on top of that, you add and start to think the first on your problems and what is your to-do list, that's where a lot of women start feeling anxiety. And that's when a lot of women tell me, oh my God, I wake up with like palpitation in my heart. I wake up with sweating. I wake up with this. I wake up with that. It's because you didn't even open your eyes properly and you already started thinking about your problems. Now, that's the first thing that I address.
Yeah.
Because how you start your day is literally how your day is going
It's
to
hard
unfold.
to do in this day and age too, right? Like we have our phones next to our bed, our alarm system is
Exactly.
pinging, 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 and you wake up, oh,
Exactly.
first thing you do, oh, I've got to check my emails, or you check your calendar, what have you got to do today? And I find
Exactly.
myself too, I have to make sure I put my phone away. I'll have a quick look at it during breakfast, just make sure there's nothing urgent, but I don't open anything. I put it away until I take my son to school, and then it gives me that couple of hours, process things, and it's so important.
Exactly. That's what I'm teaching, because I will give you an example. I love giving examples because I feel moms really relate to examples. I had a friend and she was, complaining of different issues and things like that. And I always tell her, like, just give me a rundown of your day. What you do the moment you get up till the moment you go to bed. And she told me, oh, I wake up around that because I can't really do anything if I don't know how your life is and how you function, what you think, what you feel, what you eat, how much. Everything is combination together. None of us is the same. Like none a person is the same.
Yeah.
What works for me might not work for you. That's why I wanted to, see the entire day. And then she told me, oh, it's 6:30, I wake up, but I don't really get out from bed till 7:30. I scroll through my phone, I do this, and there's my signal straight away. And unfortunately, 80% of the women I talk personally are in that I was in that kind of zone. Like we are all, and that's okay. But it's what we don't know that we can't really change until somebody points that out to us. So
Yeah.
what I advise to her is that, okay, 6:30, that's fine. You don't have to get off the bed if you don't want to. But instead of the phone, write gratitude, do a breathing exercise, do a meditation, do something to calm your nervous system up instead of, putting your time in somebody else's time, in somebody else's world while you're scrolling through social media, because that's somebody else's world. That's not your world. It's not who you are. So that's the first thing, that the most, so to say, basic thing is that I always say, be grateful for who you are, because that will change energy, that will lower your cortisol level, because you're going to start thinking positive. You're going to start thinking about a love for yourself, for your family, for your kids, for their smiles, for their laughter, for whatever that is. Second thing is move. That's the biggest way to lower the cortisol, is just get out in front of your house, 10 minutes walk in sunshine, and you will see how your day is going to completely unfold differently. And then the third is water. Literally 3 simple steps. They're so manageable and so um, able to do. But then I always tell them, you need to schedule it in your diary. You need to block out that time. Because if you
Or
don't,
find
you
a
will
friend to
let.
have that competition with, because that works really
Exactly.
well.
Wake each other up. Send each other texts. Are you awake? Yep, let's do it. And just do it together. That's the most important part. I bought an alarm clock, so I have my phone in another room, and I set my alarm on my alarm clock. So I don't watch at my phone. I don't do that. Or I will put it in airplane mode so it doesn't interact with my sleep. If I want to have like a deep REM sleep during the night and I like to put some music on, I just put it in airplane mode and put it on. So whenever I talk, whenever people tell me what are 3 key things, those are the three key things that it will take you around half an hour tops. If you want to do more, amazing, yes. But if you don't have more than half an hour, 10 minutes meditation, yoga, or breathing exercises, 10 minutes you go outside for fresh air, and 10 minutes to prepare your water and have it in the morning before anything else. Simple.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so for us busy mums and women around the world who sort of make those first 3 changes, and we're ready to kind of change a little bit about our nutrition. I know everybody's different because they have specific diets, health issues and whatnot.
Exactly.
But I guess as a general rule, you know, the afternoon is where we hit our slump, the coffee or whatever wears off. You're tired, you need to get through the afternoon with the kids. I mean, what is a go-to snack that is enjoyable and healthy and easy, but might give you that natural boost to really get you through the afternoon?
Get through past 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Well, the most natural thing, and I always see, because me being a lot of, even now in a corporate environment, things like that, is that a lot of people around 3 p.m. reach either for a second, third coffee, they reach to a muffin, a chocolate, a sugar rush. We call it a sugar rush. And it is a sugar rush because that's usually when your insulin levels drops throughout the day and you need a bit of energy. The first thing I say is go out. Go out in a fresh air, because that's the most natural thing, natural boost of energy that you can get. Grab water, grab fruit, grab nuts, seeds, grab any type of, if possible, homemade goodies, because you know what you're putting in those homemade muffins or biscuits or anything that you're making. Try to avoid processed foods. Why is that? Because everybody's like, oh, I know, processed food is not good for you, it's not good for that. We all know that. The reason why we're not doing that is not because we don't have the knowledge, it's because we don't have the time and we don't have the resources, or we don't know what to do instead of that. So
yeah, and let's face it, majority of the food available to us is processed in some way. They've got additives and colorings and everything else. So
in everything.
Yeah.
But like, that's for the same my idea of how is it. If there is cookies and chocolate and things like that in the office, and if they provide food, it's a mental shift. There is a mental shift, and it's a shift in a habit. So it's very difficult for people to so to say understand why they should have fruit and how to avoid not having chocolate instead of the fruit. That's how we were brought up. That's the habits where we were pretty much brought up till this day, when our listeners are listening and they're thinking, yeah, but how is that going to give me a satisfaction? The satisfaction is emotional. Whatever we do, our bodies are sensory and emotional, because those energy slumps and tiredness are from exhaustion that you're having from work, any type of work that you're doing.
And mental exhaustion, because you're stuck at that computer all day or whatever it is that you do.
In the office, closed down environment, air conditioning, no natural lighting, no fresh air in like 80% of the cases.
Yeah.
And that's why in my previous work, I had a challenge. Every day at 3 p.m., the bus will buzz, and like 5 of us will just grab our waters, fruit, and we'll go out for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
After 5 days of doing that, I didn't even have to have a buzzer. At 3 p.m., I will hear one of the colleagues saying, hey, come on, let's go. It's a completely different vibe and different energy. They even started losing weight without really changing anything in their life in particular, just by doing that, avoiding one piece of muffin that really taste. You know how that muffin tastes. You know how that chocolate tastes.
And it makes you feel full and heavy, and you don't actually concentrate better from it.
And you're literally waiting for 4:30 or 5 to go home, and then by the time you go home, you snack more. And why you snack more? Because the muffin gave you an insulin spike, but it also gave you an insulin drop. And that drop was so much bigger than the spike that it's actually addictive. And you want to have more chocolate, you want to have more muffins. But when you eat a banana, you don't need to, because the banana will release that sugar naturally in your body, giving you a natural source of energy. So that's, so to say, that's my way of explaining on how our body works. And have a challenge. Set yourself a goal. Okay, next week, next 5 days, I will do this one day at a time. Just one day at a time. One Monday, another Tuesday, another Wednesday. And even if it's something happens and you do have that muffin because somebody's birthday or things like that, go back on the track. Nothing wrong with that. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's saying anything to you. Nobody's watching. It's your life. It's your
Yeah.
body. It's your decision.
I mean, we can't be perfect all the time, and we will have those days where, you know, you have a little treat or whatever, but it's the long-term goals and commitment to change. So
exactly.
And so for those of us who are obviously cooking the family meals, everyone's different. Everyone likes different things. But what's one ingredient that might, I mean, obviously we know the benefits of, you know, say garlic and things like that, possibly during the winter months and things like that. But what's a secret sort of additive that you love to add to meals that's really, really good for everybody?
Turmeric. That's my go-to. Like turmeric is my go-to spice in anything. Like literally in anything. It's so anti-inflammatory. It's great for digestion. Together with like garlic and honey, I make like, for example, last night I made a fresh turmeric and ginger tea. It's very simple and it's very easy. Like I took a great piece of ginger like this and great piece of turmeric, fresh turmeric. I sliced them. I put them in a liter of water, boiled it for about 10 minutes until it reduces to the half, and have it in my cup of teas throughout the day. It helps reduce with inflammation, fight diseases, bacteria. I always put it in pretty much any stir fry, cooking, things like that. But I always make sure to put it a bit of a black pepper, because when black pepper sort of infuses with turmeric, it gives them even more power of anti-inflammatory effects. So that's a key compound. Exactly. The key compound for turmeric to really make it boost and give that boost and that anti-inflammatory effects, you need to have a bit of a black pepper in there as well, because they fuse really well together. And then black pepper helps turmeric to sort of releases its natural anti-inflammatory effects. There's a beautiful combination on the market of organic turmerics, but a lot of the times they're missing that black pepper. So make sure when you're putting it in your cooking, I even put it in my smoothies in the morning. If I mix from time to time, I'll put like a half teaspoon of turmeric and a bit of a black pepper as well. You can't really taste it, but it's enough for your body to have that a nice anti-inflammatory effect.
Oh, that's beautiful. And there's so many people that can benefit from anti-inflammatory for so many different health issues. It really comes into play for many things. But that's a really good tip, because I didn't know that black pepper did that, but I do love black pepper. So good combination. Great tip for those listeners out there looking to add something to their meals. So for anyone out there who's listening to the conversation today and wants to reach out to you or learn more or have some time with you, what's the best way to contact you?
So they can contact me through my my website. It's lifefoodbalance.co. Or they can follow me through Instagram as well, just Life Food Balance. I offer free discovery calls to anybody, because I'm very open and wanted to be generous with my time. Is that, you know, person is individual. I want to learn about you. I want to learn who are you, what's your challenges, how are you living, what's that one thing that's keep waking you up at 1 a.m. and you're trying to resolve with your health, but you just don't know where to start, or you're really overwhelmed with all of the information that's going on the internet, and it's really, you're stuck in your head and you don't know where to start. I'm more than happy to have a chat.
Okay, beautiful. Well, look, thank you so much for our conversation today. Anyone out there, we will put links and information in the bio, so reach out to Jelena, and thank you again for today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a beautiful conversation.
With some great tips. Thank you so much. And listeners, don't forget to subscribe. We'll have some great episodes coming up soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.